Welcome to the Maia Ataahua podcast, hosted by me, Zoe. We're going to look at concepts like the perfect victim and the narrow definitions that withhold help, support, and sometimes justice. Well, most oftenly justice. And along the way, we're going to connect with people from around the globe. It's going to be a good time. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and please enjoy the show. Thank you.
Oh my God. Okay, I love that. I love that you love Piggy. I also have to pause and note your holly hobby. Is that like an embroidery piece back there?
Yeah, my grandmother made it for my mum.
Oh my God. I'm a child of the 70s and 80s, and Holly Hobby was everything to me for a period of time, and not many people even know her anymore, so love seeing her.
Yeah, I had the bedspread, and Mum even had at one point like a doll's cot for one of my sisters. She found it in an op shop, and I was like, oh, yes. She's on my list of things to find and stock for, along with Anne of Green Gables and Pride and Prejudice for for these girls, for whimsical girlies.
Yeah, that prairie era with Little House on the Prairie, Holly Hobby, that was magical. That was one of my favorite things when I was a kid.
Do you remember?
I wanted a bonnet.
Did you ever see the show? Is it Christy? And she went out into the. She lived in the mountains, and I can't remember the era. And it had now I've forgotten everything, but it was an old school Puritan thing. And then had moonshine, and it was all part of that Little House on the Prairie era as well, but it was a Christian one. It was so funny. My siblings joke about it because I forced them to watch it because it was the only, we're very religious.
I wonder, there might have been some stuff you guys had in New Zealand that we did not have, so.
Oh, it's definitely American. I'm trying to think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and I know the accents and I just can't think of the area right now because I'm being on the spot. But it's definitely like an American thing. I'll send it to you after.
Yeah.
Okay. There's one thing I just wanted to get. And then we'll kick off. But
okay, hold it up. Okay, is this an old book or a new? That's an old Piggy.
Yeah. Like this is published in how do you read the publications again?
It looks like a
1981. 1981.
Yeah. Oh, she was my ideal woman when I was a little kid. Like, I thought she was the most beautiful woman on the planet, and I wanted to be just like her. So glamorous. And the confidence. If I could bottle the confidence of Miss Piggy, I love her. I have a couple of Piggy and Kermit pencils here. I have a lot of shit, but yeah.
Okay, where do I match this? Yeah. If I want to light a candle, I'll do that. Now I've got them. Okay, all right, okay. How are you feeling?
Do we have an intention? Should we set an intention? I set an intention right before I came on here that we would just have a joyful, fun, delightful conversation, and that we would connect and hopefully connect to lots of other people out there that are looking for joy and inspiration. So that's my intention.
Yes. My intention for today is that we connect on a very spiritual level by talking about the importance of iconography, but also the joy that comes with it. And we're connecting to the overall community that need a bit of joy in their lives. And we show that that's actually a very valuable part of our day to day.
Yes, love it. Love it. And it is so.
I just leave her there, but she's on.
She's with us. I feel her. She's with us. She's here.
Miss Piggy. There. Okay, well, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here today. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Zoe. I'm Kerrin. Should I say my full name? I'm Kerrin Pache-Serna. I have a candle business called the Eternal Flame Candles. The name was actually suggested by my husband because I was like, what do I name these candles, these silly prayer candles that are like pop culture prayer candles? And the Eternal Flame, I don't know if the song came up, but I don't know. It came up and I was like, yes, that's perfect because we hold a flame in our hearts for these characters, icons, celebrities, people that inspire us, movie characters, things that inspire us. It actually started with the Golden Girls for me.
Mm.
That was my entry point into this business. But yeah, like I love fandom. I love when people are obsessed with things and love things. I love when people get joy out of stuff like my silly little candles. I think they're, you know, they're just for joy and for fun and for finding moments of happiness because we need it. We need it every day and we have to actively look for it. So,
Yes, yes. That's so true. Thank you so much. Um, and when I found your stock for wholesale, I was so excited because we don't have a lot of these fun little whimsical things here in New Zealand. Like it's just a very small country and we have a lot of other amazing products, but people like myself, we're like, oh, I'm missing out. So it was very exciting to find it. And I know it will hit, because people like would love a Bravo moment.
I'm a big Bravoholic. I have a lot of Bravo stock.
Mm,
That's one of those really are for me. Like I did for a while, I did a lot of candles that were by request. People,
mm.
ask for Star Wars and things that a lot of people ask for like sports figures and stuff. And I just was like, I can't, it's hard for me to create something that I'm not really
Yeah.
interested in or excited about. But eventually I was like, I just need to do what I like, which is Bravo. I'm watching Bravo all
Mm.
day anyway. So, and there's endless Bravo celebrities that I feel connected to and I feel deserve a candle. So it
Yeah.
can go on forever. Like I don't even know how many I have now, but a lot.
Oh gosh, I would do the whole catalog, including the Golden Girls because they are so like I remember watching it when I was younger and just be like, I don't really get it. And now I'm just like, first of all, we're their age, but you
Are
know,
we? Are you my age?
yeah,
You
I'm
can't
40
be.
something. No, I'm
You
40.
are?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, you can't be. I just turned 50 this last year and
Congratulations.
thank you. And I realized that, yeah, 50 and fabulous. I can kick, I can stretch. You know about that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You go do your Pilates and you gotta
yeah. Uh, and I'm realizing I'm entering the Golden Girls era. Like I'm
Mm,
entering my grandma Mima era.
mm.
And I feel like I've been training for this my whole life. Like this is all I ever wanted was to be in the era where it's acceptable to just be old and live for yourself and not give a fuck. That's where I'm at. So I'm enjoying.
Yes. Yes, and that ties in so perfectly because that's the whole purpose of my Ataahua and the retail front. It's like I just don't give a fuck anymore. Like we don't have to follow a certain model or journey for healing or any um converse. We're talking about hard stuff, but we don't have to do it so aggressively. But we should, but we can actually have fun at the same time.
Yeah, we should have fun at the same time. I mean,
Mm,
to be honest with you, like I've had a mental health journey, like I'm sure a lot of people have, probably most people have in this day and age. And I've been going through a bout of depression the last few months. It has been rough. And like the things that have gotten me through day to day have been seeking out joy till it's like the
yeah,
antidote to feeling sad and feeling heavy about the world or heavy about everything. I mean,
yeah,
there's so many things to be sad about and there's so many things to feel heavy about. And
mm,
I think the only thing that balances it out is finding what brings you joy and
yeah,
finding what excites you. And like, if it's Bravo, great. Like, it's harmless. These shows are out there for us to enjoy and laugh at. And these people put
yeah.
their lives on the screen. I could never do it, but God love them for doing it. and bringing us entertainment and distraction. And, you know, if it's nostalgia, if it's fandom, if it's gardening, like I put the Golden Girls on at night when I fall asleep because it's just so comforting to me.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, their little world is so comforting. The time period is comforting. They're funny. Like, it still holds up, that show, honestly. I highly
Yeah.
recommend rewatch to everyone because it's still fucking funny. And it's just comforting. And, you know, if I put that on every night before I go to sleep, then so be it. That's helping me get through, you know, we all need to find those things.
Oh my gosh, you're making me want to do a rewatch. I haven't watched it in so long. I just like watch the little outtakes when they come up on Instagram. But
Yeah.
no, yes, because I'm up to date on Real Housewives. I'm really sad
Yeah.
about it. There's no like, I think we have a limited range here in New Zealand. So, because you know we have to pay to bring it in.
You guys have to pay like a special channel
Yeah,
or something?
yeah,
Just
and then
no.
whoever is running that app, you know, they have to pay for the catalogs and stuff. So we don't have all of it. We have like the most popular, and I'm like stuck with Real Housewives of Jersey at the moment. And there's like 2 seasons, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys everyone just wants to be the villain. It's really boring. You can't all be the villains. Like, where's your quality of a personality?
Wait, which seasons do you have? You have the original, like, few seasons of Jersey?
Not New Jersey. Jersey.
Jersey meaning like Jersey Shore?
Oh,
Wait,
yeah, they're
you
on
mean
they're
Real
on.
Housewives of New Jersey?
No,
But
Real
like,
Housewives of Jersey. That's it's 2 seasons. I don't know if there's any more or if
that's
it got
it?
cancelled,
They're
but
Real Housewives of New Jersey is the
is
way I know it. And
iconic.
there's
Yeah.
like, yeah, and there's like, I don't know how many seasons, like 14
Yeah, I'm up
seasons.
to date. We're waiting for it to come back. Please take it off
Oh,
pause.
yeah.
Yes,
Well,
no. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this doesn't bring me joy. Atlanta, like, okay, so I need
Atlanta's,
to.
yeah. Do we want to talk about
Mm,
Atlanta? Atlanta's okay right now, but I'm struggling with it.
yes, I'm a little bit. I love Portia, but also at the same time, I don't really get it. Like, what's the storyline here?
It feels like
Yeah.
they've taken some of the original Atlanta Housewives, which were great. I love Cynthia, Portia, I love Phaedra, but they've thrown them together with new women and it doesn't feel cohesive to me. Like, I don't
They need to
know.
bring back um Kenra Moore. They need to bring her back.
Kendra Moore, hair care. Yeah, she
Bring
was
her back.
wild.
Yeah, and I mean I understand why they let her go, but
Yeah,
bring her back.
she took
She
it a bit
brought it.
far. That
Yeah.
last season, she took it a bit far. But yeah,
Well, that's because of her posters. But you know, she's reacting to someone saying they've got a gun in their handbag. So what do you expect?
yeah. But she
Is it
was housewife.
Tate?
She was top tier housewife. Her and
Oh, she
Nene, I feel
was.
like just bringing it every single episode with something. Yeah, the new women, I'm not sure if I'm feeling them yet. They're not giving me a lot.
No, I feel like Kelly. Yeah, I can never remember their names because they're so like Kim, Kelly.
Yeah, it's hard
I
to
don't
learn
know.
the new names.
They have to give me personality for me to remember who they are.
We've got Pinky the vegan, who's stirring
Yeah,
things up a little bit.
who's not a vegan.
Yeah, I don't know. Are
Yeah.
you just watch Housewives or do you also watch like Below Deck and like Southern Hospitality, Southern Charm, Summer House,
Okay,
those
so I
things?
really obviously need to get into Summer House because
God, girl.
I know, and I'm kind of glad that I haven't gotten into it because now we have so much drama. I can go all the way back to the beginning. How many seasons is
Yeah.
it?
I think right now we're on season, is it 10? God,
Yes.
I don't know.
If I can go
I
from the
think it might
beginning
be.
and then get up.
Yeah, I'm not good at keeping track of the numbers, but it's been yeah, I think it's been 10 years because Kyle and Amanda have been married for like 10 years.
Yeah, I don't. So I know I kind of have an idea of what's happened on that show, but I was like, because I listened to the Betches media and you know they're always
Yeah.
breaking it down, and you know they had to have emergency podcasts when the big everything happened, and I was like, wait, I know these names, but
Yeah, it was a big deal. It took over the zeitgeist, kind of like Scandival a few years back. Did you
yeah,
watch Rules?
Oh my gosh, yes. And the thing is, I'm lucky. I started it. So by the time we got to that season, I was like, episode by
We're
episode, like,
locked
come
in.
on. Yes, yeah. Yes. And I
Yeah.
another supplier, I got the coloring books from that season, from Vanderpump Rules
Uh-huh.
Scandal season. I got the coloring books. And for our mindfulness, it's mind got a
Yeah.
color. Yeah. So
Nice. Yeah.
it's really important, right? But
Yeah.
yes, that
Same to do with your
Ariana.
anxiety.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Hmm.
Queen Ariana is just iconic because she never wanted to be famous. You could tell she was just like there because that's her partner. And then look how she just stuck to who she is as a core person, stood up for
Yeah.
herself, and then just went, fuck
Yeah.
this, walked away. And now look, she's just got so much going for her. And I just think that we need to pay more attention to the wallflowers. I don't know if that's the right terminology because you're not really a wallflower, but people overlook you because you're not vivacious enough, or you're not
Yeah.
whatever it is. But actually, she was a badass the whole time.
Yeah, she really was. I actually have kind of an amazing story about meeting Ariana and Tom Sandoval, if you want me to share it.
Yes, please.
I've never talked about it publicly, but I think it's fine. I don't know. So in 2019, I was invited to be a vendor at the first BravoCon, which blew my mind. Like I, couldn't believe it. I was a huge Bravo fan. At the time, it was the first one, and so they invited a few like fan art people to set up a booth. I had to fly a bunch of my candles to New York, which was not cheap, and my husband came with me to help sell candles from the booth while I like ran around and did the BravoCon thing. And while he was doing that, Tom Sandoval comes up to the table and is like, "Hey, I hear you have a candle with my face on it." And I had a candle of him with the trumpet in one hand and then like Tom shorts in the other hand as like baby Jesus.
Oh
Cause
my
they're
gosh.
such a weird little duo. So I was like, "Oh, was he mad?" And my husband was like, "He didn't seem that happy about it." And I was like, "Oh no." And so my husband gave him the candle, took a picture of him with it. And I have a picture of Tom Sandoval holding his candle, not looking thrilled about it. And I was like, "Oh no, I feel bad. Like, is he going to be okay? Is this weird?" And then at the time, he was just starting to open Tom Tom, the bar. So I put on my big girl pants. I saw him and actually Kyle Cook, which is as I'm thinking back to this, I'm like, this is wild. At the end of the event, he and Kyle Cook are standing together talking. What a mashup. My God. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to talk to him about the candle and make sure he's okay and see if I can get him to wholesale the candle in the bar. So I was terrified. I went up to him. I was like, "Hey, I'm the lady with the candle. I hope you're okay with it. I mean no disrespect, only honor, whatever." This was obviously way before the scandal. He was with Ariana. Ariana was there at another booth. They were selling I think they were selling their cocktail book or something. Anyway, he was nice about it. He was like, "Yeah, I just didn't want you making like millions of dollars off of my face." And I was like, "That's not happening at all. It's, it's literally just fan art. Like, it's not a big deal." And he was like, "Okay, cool." And I said, "Well, I wondered if you'd be willing to like maybe talk about selling them in the bar." And he was like, "Oh yeah, that'd be cool." And he gave me his personal phone number. Like, I literally have Tom Sandoval's personal phone number. I don't know if it's the same still. And he was like, "Text me and we'll talk about it." And so I texted him a few times over the holidays. This was November. I texted him a few times. So November of 2019. Over the holidays, I texted him. He wasn't very responsive. He was kind of flaky. So I was like, I don't know if this is going to happen. And then in early March of 2020, think about that timeline, things are starting to get weird. But I text him and I'm like, "Hey, just wondered if you were still interested in these candles." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, let me get like 50 of them for the bar. And can you bring them to my house?" And so I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so I made 50 of them really fast. It was raining. I remember I put my dog in the car. I drove to the address he gave me, which was their house, the one that you see on the show. And I pull up to it and I'm like, holy fuck, I'm at Tom Sandoval's house. And I knock on the door and Ariana opens the door. And am I still connected? I feel like my connection
Yeah.
is being weird.
I think I think it just dropped for a second, but you're okay.
Am I cutting out?
It was just a little
Anyway,
bit, but we'll edit. It's all good.
I'll wrap this up. Anyway, Ariana opens the door and I'm like, hi. And she's beautiful, by the way, in person.
Mm.
And she's like, oh, hey, Tom said you'd be dropping off some candles or something. And she let me in. I put my dog, she's like, bring your dog in. And I put my dog down. Her dog, Charlotte, was there. And my dog ran in and like, I was like, just please don't pee on the rug or anything. My dog ran in, was playing with Charlotte, whatever. And I was like, this is out of body experience for me, right? Like I've seen this house on the show and I'm like standing in it. And she's helping me unload the candles and everything. And we're chatting. And I was like, I actually didn't know what to say to her, but I said, I just wanted to thank you for being open about like mental health and stuff on the show, because I think it was really helpful for me, helpful for a lot of people. And she was so sweet. And we talked for like 15 minutes. She was great. Tom called at one point and he was hanging out with Schwartz and she was like, oh yeah, I'm here getting the candle. It was honestly, Zoe, like the most surreal moment of my life. And I left, and then I don't know if they actually ended up selling them in the store or not, but he ordered a few more times. And then was it the following year or 2 years later, the Scandival dropped. And like, I was shocked. I was shocked as anybody. I was horrified. I couldn't believe that he would do that to that lovely woman. She was a goddamn perfect angel.
Oh, absolutely. There's like I said in your unboxing about, you know, that whole thing. We learned so much. There's a lot we can take away from Scandival, you know, like you can trust someone, they can still do you dirty. But I think the story you've just shared there is a good example of where his mind is at, even like more worried about don't make money off me than, you know, this is
Yeah.
go-to. And I get the ego there. I do get it. But
Yeah.
when you look back, you realize there's actually no surprise that it was going to end up that way.
Yeah. He was definitely kind of an odd carrot. And she was just, I got the sense, to say it in the nicest way possible, that she was like definitely the brains in that relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just the smart woman, a smart, together, intellectually and emotionally intelligent woman. And he was kind of, you know, there. That's as
Doesn't
nice
it
as I can
show?
put it.
Yeah. And but like, doesn't it show how you know, a really smart woman can be blindsided by a stupid person. Like, it's not a smart person can be blindsided, right? It can be matter what, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But we see this so often in relationships and you know, my Ataahua is about recovery from domestic violence or violence of any sort. But this is one of those scenarios because on the surface level, there's no violence, but there's lying and manipulation, and there's an ego that takes over and puts a woman or the other partner second place. And you
Mhm.
question yourself and you're gaslit, constantly gaslit by Tom into believing a certain type of, you know, certain version of events. And it does, even though your intuition will be like, this is not quite right, but you'll believe it because you love that person and your love for that person takes precedence for yourself. It was very clearly obvious with Ariana. Like, even when he was like, I want to have a baby one day, and she's like, but I don't. That wasn't about having a family one day. That was about making her feel bad. And that's, you know, it's
Mhm.
if it was about having a family, he wouldn't have behaved the way that he did. It was about a storyline and it was about control over Ariana. So she's a really good example of why Bravo is so good, because we get to see in real time what these dynamics look like, and that you can leave and you can make it better for yourself. And that little Tom has to go away and learn his lessons. He can come back, but he has to learn his lessons first. We all love Tom for who he is, but he has to go and he has to learn his lesson, because what he did to Raquel was revolting as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like,
I
yeah,
think people don't talk about enough how Raquel is kind of a victim in that a little bit too. I
she
mean,
absolutely.
she made very poor choices and did dickbag behavior, but I don't know. He I think could have easily manipulated her too into believing that he was going to be with her and this was it for him. And you know, it was a weird, sad situation all around. And it's crazy that a similar thing is happening now on Summer House. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting to like watch these relationships play out and get to know these people over the span of years, decades, and watch their lives go through these ups and downs and the betrayals and the drama and all of that. And I think it's like it's an escape, but it is also, like you were saying before, just sort of a learning platform. Like you can learn a lot about human behavior, about watching out for red flags, about the way people handle things and the way you would like to handle things and the way that, examples you see of people that handle things badly. I mean, it's just a study in human
Yeah,
behavior. Fascinating.
it is. It's a longitudinal, qualitative study
Mm.
of how people actually react, at how we actually are. Because remember, I mean, I'm not on reality TV, but you forget the cameras are there, obviously, because this is how people behave with cameras on them.
Mhm.
So if you were to think about like the BBC documentary of the children that they catch up with every 5 years, do you remember
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of the same thing because you're watching people over, I mean, Orange County, how many, oh, New
Yeah, it's been
York,
like
how,
over 20 years, I think. Yeah, these
yeah,
women that we followed since, yeah, at least a couple of decades. We followed
yeah.
their lives and their evolution or devolution sometimes. But I
But
mean, it's fascinating because, like, we're all
yeah,
evolving, we're all changing, we all make mistakes, we all have
yes.
ups and downs.
And for me, I love a comeback story like Erica Jane. I mean, I didn't really, yeah, I was also like, what about the earrings? And you must have known, obviously we're all going to think that because
Yeah,
she couldn't talk about it.
yeah.
And, but look at her now. She's gone to therapy. So she's not lashing out. But she's still her same iconic self. And I learned from people like Erica how to still make my point, but in a
Mm,
classy ass way. And I just think that we need to have more of that in our, as women, more of those examples to show that you can be bold, audacious, outspoken. These are not bad values to have in a woman, but we are taught to be quiet,
yeah,
and submissive. And then, but no, don't do that. And for me, like Bravo's really helped me find my voice in the last maybe 8 years. I only started watching it when I had my first baby and was at home on maternity leave and started
mhm.
with Real Housewives of Melbourne. And I was like, Gina, you're a queen. Lydia, can you
Have I
even?
watched Melbourne? I'm not sure if I have.
Oh my goodness. Okay, because I was going to say, do you know the iconic line, can I even Spock? And then Gina goes, I don't know, can you?
Okay, no, I have. So somehow I have missed Melbourne. That
This,
has not been on my radar, and I feel terrible about it. Don't take away my
go
Bravo
find it.
card.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
I
no,
will.
no, no, no.
It is
It's,
hard for me to get. So I know I also watch Married at First Sight, and I know Married at First Sight Australia is like a big, like
yeah.
people love that one more than the American one, but I have a hard time getting it. I have to like go through a bunch of online hoops to get to it, and it's challenging.
Yeah. 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 I think that's why I can't get all of the Bravo stuff here is because I'd have to go through like different VPNs and I just go with whatever's on. Hey You is the app we use here. You got
Yeah.
Hulu, Hey You. Yeah. It's like the Australian New Zealand version. No, go watch it because you get to see the iconic Australian attitude of just not giving a fuck. And then lots of swearing and C bombs and
Love it.
but Gina, she's iconic. Like I feel like Australian and New Zealand reality TV is a lot more produced than it's almost like Real Housewives of Chelsea. It's very produced. And it might have something to do with the licensing that's available to film in public spaces. You just don't get those natural reactions that you see on Real Housewives of you Salt Lake City, but Rhode Island, like it's only just started,
Mm,
but it's so raw, right? You don't really
mhm.
get that in these. It might be the production, I'm not sure, but it always feels really overproduced and I can't really connect. Like
Mm,
I can tell that you've done this conversation 3 times.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I've
I'm not really
actually I've actually been like kind of mixed on Rhode Island. Like I think that well, first of all, it's hard for me to tell them apart. There's they all look the same
yeah.
to me.
Yes.
But also it feels a little bit like now we're at this place where everyone has seen these shows and everyone knows how they go, and I'm a little concerned about people like self-producing and trying to generate
Yeah.
drama, and that drama that doesn't feel authentic. Like you can tell when they're like, I better throw a big fit here so that I will keep my job and stay on the show. And I don't know.
That's
And I'm hoping it will find its stride and that just like the first season feels a little rough, but I'm here for it. I'm just like, I also did not expect these women to be basically like Jersey, but a little trashier.
yes. So that's what I mean about Housewives of Jersey, not New Jersey, not Teresa Giudice style, but
Uh-huh.
Housewives of Jersey is really produced. It has that thing of everyone wants to create drama to stay on the show, but it's so obvious. Whereas Rhode Island, yeah, there's a couple there that have that kind of feeling to them. But who's the friend? They all look the same. Who looks like our favorite from New Jersey?
Oh, Liz, who looks like Dolores. Yeah.
Dolores. I was like, it's not Dorit. Oh my god.
Okay,
Yes,
so
she feels really authentic.
that meltdown was wild. That meltdown
Yeah.
was like, oh, she's having, I don't know if she was on something or what, but something was off, definitely.
And
And
she's
that was
pushing
like,
the
okay,
chair.
now yeah. I was like, okay, now we have some crazy. Like I like my
Yeah.
housewife to be authentically nuts. I also think
Yeah.
Alicia's because she is a kook. Like I love that she needs a cracker to drive, a cracker.
Yes, those are the two that yes, yeah, I just need a cracker.
Got it involved and like that kind of thing. I'm a huge fan. I need my housewives to not be too like young and influencery and trying too hard
Yeah.
to generate a storyline. I need them to be genuinely a little bit off their rocker and kooky and funny, unaware. Like that's my preferred style because when New York was at its peak, I feel like those women, Sonia Rita, the Countess, Ramona. I mean, I know we have some problematic people in there. I know there's some issues, but those were top tier housewives. They were.
They were. So I like to do a little bit of I like to highlight a word a month, which is just when I feel like a word comes to me. So I was thinking about who are women that embody that word. So the importance of being authentic. And I was like, you know what? Alex McCord. Because she actually did not deviate away from being herself. And she was people don't like her. I was like, are you kidding? She's like, I'm a model.
Alex and Simon were the weirdest. The weirdest couple, the weirdest family. They're still around. Like they still pop up every now and then on things.
So she moved to, from what I know, and I always say, I don't really know anything, but so I used to live in Australia and she moved to the area that I used to live in, Byron Bay. And, or that's in the areas where I grew up, but she went to university after Housewives and she's done her doctorate and she's a lawyer, all these things. And she's now advocating for eating disorders. And I'm like, see? She was always that person. She just was on a platform with some crazies who we love, but though they become, Scary Island episodes or Morocco or whatever it is, and people can kind of chip away at an authentic person and make them look crazy.
Take a Xanax, calm down.
That we love that. Go to sleep.
You're crazy.
I have something I need to deliver. What? A baby? That was so good. Yeah, well, okay, so Jill Zarin, I know that she's really problematic at the moment and the political atmosphere of America, it's really heated, some of the stuff that she said. And she has openly said several times that she's really struggles with her mental health and sometimes she speaks before she thinks. And I agree that she was taken off the new show, but I'm sad about it too because I kind of really liked her neuros, whatever. Who tweet? Yeah, I liked that about her. And I was really sad when they took her off because, you could see that she had was she best friends with Ramona? No, Bethany. And when that friendship started to fall apart, I felt really like that's a genuine reaction that she's having. And Bethany's also having a genuine reaction. But I miss her it's just really unfortunate that the things that she said,
So,
which I can't remember. Yeah.
I mean, it's so hard when like we're seeing these women be real, right? And part of what comes along with that is all their flaws.
Yeah.
And we love them, but we also kind of hate them sometimes. Like they can be terrible, terrible people. And that I think is maybe like a misconception about these shows is that they're just all terrible people and terrible all the time. And who would want to watch that? But they're nuanced, right? Like they have
Yes.
every they have every flaw and they're putting it all out there and we see them at their worst and at their best and
Yeah.
you know and often the way the shows are edited it's like there's you get a villain edit one season and suddenly you're the bad guy and everybody hates you and then the next season we like love you again, you know. So a large part of it I think is kind of dictated by the way the producers want the narratives to go, but also it's just kind of refreshing, I think, to see people just their be fuck ups and like have things go
Yeah.
wrong, say the wrong thing, and you know, they'll get flack, they'll get feedback, they'll get canceled for it, and it'll maybe help them see the error of their ways and turn around, or it won't. But like, I don't know, it's fascinating to watch people go through that and navigate that, I think.
Yeah. And in your day to day, you will make the same mistakes. You are nuanced and you are perfectly imperfect. But you don't have you have the privacy to work through that in your own time.
Yeah.
Like it's not put out to the whole world. You don't get cancelled. You might get a warning at work, or you and your partner might have an argument, but you don't get cancelled on such a large scale. I hate the concept of cancelling, but these what we need. And I agree with Bethany when she said there needs to be a union for Bravo because this is their job. I
Mhm.
actually think she has some really good things to say, but she's Bethany May. I'm not gonna look. She's perfectly imperfect,
She's a
but
lot. She's a lot.
yeah,
She's a
but
lot for
that's
me.
why we like her.
Yeah, I used to love I thought she was a perfect housewife. Like she was
Mm,
great on Housewives. She was funny. She was sharp. She had a lot to say. She got in the mix, right? This is maybe a controversial opinion, but I was very
I
on
love her.
Carol's side during that whole.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like I loved Carol, and I thought Bethany was a little nuts. But you know, yeah, at this point, I just don't. Unless she's going to be on a show, I'm just sort of not interested. But it these people change so much from the time that we see them. I mean, remember when she came on and she was this little like poor little chef trying to make a brand and trying to be like create a um an alcohol brand, and then she became this very very rich, very successful person, and all that came with that and whatever happened to her mental health, I don't know. She's odd. But it's just interesting. It's interesting to see that evolution.
yeah. And I think because I was listening to her podcast when it first came out, when she do the rewatches, and then I kind of got a bit bored. It's like as you do, you go through periods of listening to things. But what it looked like to me, what it sounded like to me, is that she was rewatching and processing her career like in real time and like
Yeah.
reflecting. It was almost like a therapy for her. Like she'd been conditioned to a certain way of life for so many years, and then part of that, and I'm totally projecting, but part of that podcast, those rewatches, was like pulling apart the industry for herself, for her own like brainwash. She was not brainwashed, but she came across as like she was just unwinding from it. And it was a
Mhm.
great listen to. I loved it when she had Elizabeth
Mhm.
Moss on it. It was such a great, great series. I'll re-listen to it, I'm sure. But to me, it's like, yeah, her mental health, like she got right into it. She's obviously a very intense person. And she went right into it. And she was obviously a great housewife, but she
Mhm.
burned some bridges as part of that intensity. And I'm an intense person, and I know that I annoy people, and I have the tendency to get really intense on something. And if I'm not understanding how I'm being received, that will annoy someone. And it could just be she needed to be on ADHD meds, who knows, just to chill out a little
Yeah.
bit, Like, I don't know how we don't really have all the pills that you have in America, so we don't have the same kind of, like,
We
open
don't. Oh,
availability.
we
No.
love our pills.
I really want to have more than I can. Like Xanax, we don't even have it. We probably have something else, but you have to go through quite a process. But it feels like, to me, it's got to do with funding and stuff. But to me, she just strikes me as someone that, like Jules Aaron, needed to take a pill, like not take a pill, but needed some therapy to self-reflect and not be so intense. But she didn't get it. She just obsessed about it. And then after that ended, she went through almost like an unwinding of that, pulling apart of her journey, and then she's moving on to other things, and as she should. But I think she needed to do that. She really needed it. Yeah.
Life is messy, man. It's just it's messy in a small scale when you're not doing it publicly for the entire world to watch. I can't even imagine trying to go through life on camera like that and having everybody privy to all of your best and worst moments. And I think they're brave. I think they're a little crazy for doing it, but I am grateful for it because I think, scripted TV is also great, but this is as real as we can get, right? Like, I'm not going to say it's 100% real because I know producers are guiding storylines and things like that, but it's as real as we can get of people's lives and the way they deal with stuff. And it's just, I don't know, like, I don't know. It's such a good way to kind of remind yourself that you're not the only one, going through friendship breakups and relationship stuff and mental health stuff. And even those that I kind of love to hate, I still love them. They're going to be my sisters, my mothers forever because I just know them so well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Bravo people appreciate that because they're getting validation for putting it all out on the line. And that's why I think it's more like a documentary, because a documentary will still be produced and captured to tell a story. That what I always used to say to people, they're like, have you seen what's happening on the Kardashians? But like, yeah, I watched the documentary. Like, I haven't watched it in a couple of years, but there's so much flack that those girls get, that family get. But if you're not watching it, you're only commenting on whatever headline you see. And headlines are all about capturing, they're deliberately trying to get your attention so that you go and watch it. Clickbait or whatever it is. But watching, think about Chris, the momager, the flack that she got. But then when you get to Caitlyn's era, when we met Caitlyn, and we got to see actually what she was working with, and it becomes a different. You look back on the seasons prior, and you go, hang on a second, that's actually different from what was portrayed. And she wasn't the villain. She's never the villain. She's just a lovely mum trying to do her best, trying to work with what she's got. And then, when they put the golf course in her backyard, of course she's got that. Even at the time, I was like, why are you doing this to her when she's not in town? That is so deliberate, Brendan, or whichever one it was. It's like, what? You are doing that on purpose, you little shit. But you are going to naturally react. But those seasons, again, were the most authentic. And the current Kardashian series is really, really documentary style. It's very heavily produced to tell certain stories because they've been burned so many times. They've decided to go in a different direction now, as they should, because they have their children and their families to protect. Kylie and Kendall have been on camera since they were so little. They have every right to take the cameras away, and people then get angry at them. But so don't. Just because we're on TV doesn't mean you have a right to every single thing. We've seen so much with Lamar and who's Courtney's husband? Scott, husband. Yeah. But like, we've seen so much, and they have a right to say enough and just present what they want. And I think that's kind of, I think, potentially where Bravo will end up going if the season's, up to season 20. If they've been on there since day one, there will come a point like Kyle on Beverly Hills. She's now really
Kyle, you read my mind. I was thinking about how, like, she's been on that show for so long and showed so much of her life and everything, but then now it feels like the last season or two, the Morgan weight of it all, it feels like she has pulled back. She has, like,
Yeah.
held things back, and it's really hard to watch. Even I'm of two minds about it, because I feel like I, I I want to see these people's lives. Like, that's why we're tuning in. That's why they're on this show. Like, if you're not going to show your partner and your love life and your, the dissolution of your marriage and all of that stuff, then why are you here? And also, I understand that must be really hard. So I don't know what the answer is, but I kind of feel like if you're going through a time in your life where you don't want to show it, or there's people that are close to you that don't want to be on the show, and I don't really like when they do it just part way and they come on just to kind of go to the dinners, get in the mix, but they're not showing their actual lives. I feel like
Yeah.
that was a problem for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
and
ahead.
I think that's what you see, like Sutton or Dorit. I think that's why she's so pissed, is because everything that she's going through, whether or not she wants to share it, other people are sharing it for her, but they're not sharing their
Mhm.
own lives, and I think, yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. It sounds like a terrible divorce. Why was Mauricio taking her out for dinner on camera to have that conversation? She had every right to be angry at Kyle for setting that up. Focus on your own life, Kyle. Like, don't share mine. That wasn't yours to share. And then talking about her finances. Yeah. And then Kyle just sitting back going, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm coming from a place of love. No, I totally see where Dorit's coming from.
Yeah.
You don't need to share your life, because we actually are getting what's going on by seeing what you're not sharing. Like, sometimes not sharing does tell the story, but don't just
Mhm.
turn up and make money off of somebody else's grief. Like, that's not cool. But also, we're not gonna. I just, I believe in imperfection is an amazing thing, and you just don't know how to handle these. Any chapter of life, you're never going to know how to handle it until you're upon reflection. But don't burn your friends on the way.
Mm.
Just don't.
Yeah. It's so hard to see some of these friendships that have been strong in previous season, like, fall apart. I mean, the Lisa Vanderpump of it all, Lisa,
Mm.
goodbye, Kyle, that whole thing was, that was honestly so heartbreaking for me, because
Yeah.
I love Lisa Vanderpump. Like, again, maybe a controversial opinion, but I stand Lisa Vanderpump. I just have always loved her. I've always thought that
Same.
she has, like, a dry British sense of humor that maybe Americans don't fully get. And I don't know, she has a lot of critiques about her, right? But that friendship, watching that fall apart in the way that it did, was really heartbreaking and really sad. And I still kind of hold out hope that maybe they'll have a reconnection at some point. But it feels like it's happening again with Dorit, right? Like, those two are really close.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they're gonna film together. I mean, it's just
But do you know what really pissed me off for Dorit is when they're like, oh, she's just going to walk away and smoke on camera because everyone thinks it's cool. And I was like, that wasn't uncalled for. That was, excuse me, that sounds like jealousy to me. And also, yeah, because smoking's in right now because vaping's lame. Go away. Don't you smoke pot? Like, don't you take gummies? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
don't knock her while she's down. Like, just the
Well,
hypocrisy of that. Yeah.
yeah, and it's really interesting the way they judge each other when they're
Yeah.
going through the hardest time in their lives, because, like, Erica Jane, when she was in the thick of that stuff with Tom, she was a monster. Like, I
Absolutely.
hated
Yeah.
her during that season. I was like, she is being an absolute trash box. Like, she was being so cruel about the victims of these horrible crimes that he did, and, like, you wanted her to be better, and yet I don't know what I would be like if I was going through something like that, you know? And same with Doree, like,
Yeah.
she's going through the hardest time in her life right now. So it's in some ways kind of fascinating, interesting to watch people unraveled in these hard times, but it's also like, what would I be like? I don't know. I
Well,
can't even imagine.
I'll make it about me for a minute because I'm obviously going to be on Housewives one day. That's my goal.
Yeah, we're manifesting.
That's our intention. So,
We're gonna
like,
watch what happens. Like, we're gonna be behind the bar. Note this.
oh no, we're going to be on the couch. Are you
Oh, you're
kidding?
gonna be on. Okay.
We're going to be
Your
like,
You're
Andy.
dreaming a bigger dream than I could ever dream for myself. I'm like, if I can
What?
find the bar, that'd be great.
Oh, we'll do both. We'll do that because I have a book. You know,
Yeah.
I've got to go. I've got to plug it. I was actually
Yeah.
thinking last night. I was watching it, and I was like, how do I apply? Hang on, how do I afford to get there? Okay, well, let's work that out first. So okay, so you've read my story. That last year, what happened when so you know all about that, and the listeners of this podcast will know, or they'll go find it. But so as a result of that, I crumbled very publicly at work and with my friends. And how do you cope with these things? Mate, you just hit the ground and people expect you to carry on in the same way that you were before. You just can't. You don't have the capacity. You're dealing with really raw grief, pain, anger, and it's so overwhelming and all encompassing. You know, a lot of women or people that are going through these situations, they do end up losing their jobs, losing their friends because people can't handle the fallout. And in New Zealand, we have a public health system that is based purely on accidents. So it's called ACC, accident something. And when you go through assault, you can apply for funding, or like counseling and healing services like equine therapy. I'll be going for that. Thank you. I don't hang out with some horses. But
Oh, nice. That
because
sounds
it's
good.
holistic healing, you know. You going through, they call it a sensitive claim. Going through that process, most women, because it is mostly women, the statistics, guys, are that it's mostly women. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen to men, but they either are less likely to report than women or less likely to be the victim. Anyway, a lot of people going through the sensitive claim process do end up losing their job, and then we have to pay through our taxes. They have to go on unemployment through ACC and things like that to be able to pay until they can get back into work. And that's devastating because the thing is, if we judge people for their fallout, then what are they going to do? They're going to have to stop working. So for me, watching people like, oh my goodness, Erica Jane, my brain is buffering this morning. Sorry. Watching someone like Erica Jane go through that journey and then afterwards experiencing it myself was actually really good to watch how she went through that. She was authentically herself. She was angry. She still turned up. She let people have it. Then she got into therapy. Then she started to get, and therapy includes medication and talking therapy, and she continued to be her badass self, authentic, audacious, and look where she is now. She's not perfect. She hasn't healed. You never heal. She's obviously got a lot going on, but you can see that vulnerable side of her kept that away from everyone while she was going through that marriage or through that fallout, and to where she is now. She's actually such a sweetheart. We just never got to see it before.
Yeah.
And I just think it's worth acknowledging, like, I wouldn't want to be a friend during that time either. She was an absolute pain in the ass to suck. But, you know, the rate goes, what have you going on? And I absolutely would be like, Erica Jane would be like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. That absolutely would be pissed off. Like, have you been watching? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really important to put that into context of like outside of Bravo, we do actually see this happen for people. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, reading your story was really just heartbreaking. And I'm really just, again, so sorry that happened to you and that you had to go through what you went through with your father, but also with the system, like not listening to you. I think it's one thing to have something terrible happen to you, but then not to be able to get the support that you need from the people that are supposed to be there to help support you, the systems that are in place for that to be basically, for you to be robbed of that is just, it's like a wound on a wound.
Yeah.
And
so it was, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, you know, there was the version of events that I knew, and then there was a reality. So when I found out last year that the police had known the whole time, it was a wound on a wound that I thought was healed completely.
Okay.
I felt it. I felt the ripping of the ribs. Like I just felt it just like falling apart. And then going and placing that, putting in the they call it a 10-5, so reporting the historic assault. And then that not going well either. Like, okay, I don't want to go to a court process, but to then again be not really acknowledged and just getting sorry this happened to you mentality, that's not an apology. Like, are you
Yeah.
kidding? That means you don't care. And it means other people are experiencing that. That really pissed me off. And I
Mhm.
tapped into my Bravo self. I didn't go, what would they do? But I was like, I'm really glad that I've been spent the last 8 years researching how to stand up for myself,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's what's given me the fucking boldness to do what I'm doing now. Because what would you do if you were, what would Bravo do? Hey, they would do this. Let's start a
Right.
foundation. They would do this. They would use their story as a way of telling and bringing bringing people in. They would do that. So that is why that honestly, Bravo has brought me to this place in a really weird way, and other things have as well. But I do think of what, yeah, it has helped me define my debate style, to stand up for myself. When I first started emailing out, I emailed the Prime Minister's office. I emailed everyone. I was like, how fucking dare you? I let them have the rage. I did my Erica Jane. You're a fucking cunt. Like, I did all of that. And now I'm at the other end where I'm like, okay, Erica Jane, post Fallout, where I'm being a bit more deliberate in my presentation and conversation. And because I can, because I went to therapy and I got medicated. But that journey has been horrific, Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, going through hard things in life, I mean, we all have our own flavor of that, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I think you're right. Like healing takes a long time and often doesn't ever even really come in the way that we want it to. And there's a lot of tools out there and there's a lot of support out there. And we can do our best to collect those things and collect tools and strategies to like cope. But ultimately we're on our own to figure things out. And like however we do that, trying to be a good human in the world and trying to not do damage to others and trying to sort of process our own grief, pain, everything that comes with being a human. And some people have harder paths than others. It's just there's a there's a lot to be said for holding grace for other people and what they're going through. And I think that's part of it's fun to watch these shows and laugh at the people and go, oh, their fucking lives seem terrible. Like that's at least there's some element of like schadenfreude there of like, oh, at least my life's not that bad. but um but we all are just trying to be humans in the world. We're all just trying to navigate this messy ass planet and these lives. And I think having this kind of like outlet and community of people that we can all share our love of a thing and support
Yeah.
each other, whatever we're going through. I think that is just another community. It's another tool. I mean, reaching out to people that share your same interests and that understand what you're going through is huge. Um, but yeah, seeing yourself reflected in someone else's struggles on the TV, I think that's healing too. Like we just have to get it wherever we can. And like what you keep talking about with bringing in joy and finding, ways to be happy and fulfilled and excited about life, like that is the Xanax to
Yeah.
struggle. Like that's a pill too, trying to like find things that make you happy. I think some days I just will put my dog in the stroller. She's 17. She's a little lady. And I'll go walk her neighborhood. And like, if I see a pretty flower, I'll take a picture of it. And I'm like,
Yes.
okay, that is my joy for the day. Like some days that's all I can muster, um, and, and some days it's just watching, Summer House reunion and I live for that day. Like,
Yeah.
so we just do what we can and we collect um our joy the best we can and share it with each other. And I think, hopefully people like you, podcasts like this, stores like yours will be a balm for someone else.
Yeah. And I think let's go back to Andy for a second. You know, one of the values of the Jewish
Always go back to
community,
Andy.
or King Andy, is you know, bring light to the darkness. Like joy is a mitzvah. Like bringing joy to people is a good deed, and something that it's not. It doesn't belong to one particular ethnic group or one particular community. We all should have that value, and you know, I just think that's something that everyone should live by, is that bringing joy to each other is a responsibility. And so bringing the branding or the store's branding identity being based off of joy and kindness, empathy, it's very deliberate, because in the space of recovery, there's a lot of anger and hurt, as there should be, and reaction to, there's services that are based around recovery, but from like emergency response. What about after the emergency response goes away and you're left, you know, you deserve joy at all times. You deserve joy. Just because you've been through, especially when you've been through trauma, you still deserve joy. And that's why I found your candles and I just went, perfect, because it's spiritual healing, but it's with joy, and we want to do that. So I honestly so happy to bring in your candles, and I'll bring in more as you know, as we start to.
I'm so happy you found my candles too, and I'm so happy that you know, you kind of saw them in the light that I intended them to be, that really just for fun and joy. And I think that's what I put into the designs, is like the idea that like these characters, these people, these celebrities or whatever, they're celebrities, but they're also like people that we look up to. They're people that we relate to. They're people that teach us a lot. And why shouldn't they be saints? Like they're modern day saints to us, you know, like
they are.
You know, I think it means a lot to like take something and put a little spiritual spin on it and go, I'm going to channel Miss Piggy today, or I'm going to, you know, like put put a candle of Lisa Barlow from Salt Lake City on my desk, and that's going to remind me to like be baby gorgeous or whatever. However you work it in your brain so that it works out, so that you feel better. Then all the tools, all the fun things that you can do, I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Oh, before we go, and I'm mindful of time, but I was out at my grandmother's a couple of weeks ago or months ago, and I was like looking for this book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Because this was a book I would always read when I would at the end of the day at grandma's, you know. But I couldn't find it.
Are we gonna read it from
Okay.
Open it to a random page and just see what she says.
Okay. Well, I ended up finding it on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, because she'd thrown it out. I'm so sad.
It'll be the right page, whatever.
Fashion.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Everyone, this is Miss Piggy's fashion. This book is from 1981. It's iconic. It's fundamental for our generation. Fashion. If you wish to be truly chic, and who in her right mind does not, you must be willing to say "foos" to fads. Classic fashion is forever. Another paragraph. By classic fashion, I mean those styles which, because of their elegantitude, have survived the test of time. Remember, what is the rage today is a rag tomorrow. Shoes that should be worn by shot putters. Earrings the size of belt buckles the size of earrings. I have seen them all come and go. Take it from Moy. The only way to have high moi. Du moi. Yeah, take it from moi. The only way to have high fashion impact is to refuse to go along with flash in the pan apparel trends. When a lady in a well-cut suit with a pretty chapeau walks down a street filled with people with wheels on their shoes and paint in their hair, she immediately becomes the fashion focus. I know this because I am a pig. And as a pig, I have always stood out. Yes, it takes courage to be different, and there have been those who have made fun of moi. But consider, if it's Mai's book you are reading, not theirs. Enough. Let us examine the fashion fundamentals. And then it goes on to the basics, the optionals, and the boo-boos.
Perfect for housewives discussion also, because don't sleep on the fashion. I mean, part of why I love these shows is because the aesthetic is so fun. It's so joyful. It's so like to watch these women in their fashion is like it, it's first of all a snapshot of where we are in time and place. I think like you go back and you look at the fashions from 15, 20 years
Orange
ago,
County.
early OC. It's hard to look at. You're like, wow, that's what we were doing and we thought it was great at the time. But yeah, Erica Jane's fashions. I mean, Dorit even. All these women have an incredible fashion sense. And like I think once they get on the show and have been on there for a little while, especially usually by season 2, they have some kind of a glow up and the fashions get better. And that's how you know they've really hit their stride. Miss Piggy knew. Miss Piggy knew from the beginning what was important.
Yeah. And you know what? I said this recently with another interview about like your self-adornment is anarchy, because when you're processing through trauma and grief, you don't want to dress to be seen. You kind of fade away. And it's so true. Like I remember when I first started processing everything, it was when Kardashians first started, like first launched along with Jersey Shore. And I'd go through periods of time of being like, I don't really care. And then I'd watch a season of Kardashians and be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to brush my hair. I'm going to put a blazer on. Just be like, immediately, like they can do it. So can I. So good.
Yeah.
So you just sometimes need someone to say that you can. Yeah.
Yeah. And there is something to like getting out of the sweatpants once in a while and putting on a little lip or something. And like, I have a thing with headbands. Like I have to have a headband or a bow on my head at all times. For some reason, it just makes me happy. I think my little inner child always wanted a bow on her head and didn't get it for whatever reason. So now we do bows and I'm 50 years old and I dress like a 5-year-old and it's fine. It makes me happy.
Well,
so,
who said you have to dress a certain way when you turn 50? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think Miss Piggy would approve.
Oh, she would. I was doing some training at work a couple of months ago and we were talking about AI and I was like, you know what, AI is really helpful at times, but it shouldn't be your default because you can't replace an icon. And I always theme my training around something so it's memorable. So I used Miss Piggy and Sabrina Carpenter's recent Muppets videos. And I was like, yeah, cool. Sabrina's really cool, but she copied Miss Piggy, clearly, because she even admitted it. Like, oh my God, are you wearing a wig? I'm wearing your wig. Or I'll have your lawyer speak to my lawyer. I was like, you can't replace Miss Piggy with Sabrina. You can't replace your intelligence and your skill with AI. You have to teach AI. Yeah. Why waste your time? Like, move on. Like, use it at point, but don't get it to write your emails for you. It's terrible. Like, you don't.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it hit, but I was like, no, seriously, you can't replace the original Miss Piggy. You just can't. Like, she needs her moment. We're bringing her back. Okay. I know you've got a community group that you're wanting to start up. Do you want to tell me about that?
Oh yeah. So I'm starting a women's circle. It starts next Friday, June 12th. It's in Yorba Linda, California. None of your listeners probably will be in the vicinity, but
maybe
just put it out there. I mean, who knows? If you're ever in Yorba Linda, please. It's going to be a weekly circle because I just need a community. I just needed to create this community to hold space for other women, and it's called the Wildflower Woo Woo Women's Circle. I do a lot of woo woo stuff, and I'm a Reiki master, and so I'll be doing like some Reiki stuff for people, but also we'll mostly just be coming together and talking and sharing tools and spiritual tips and things, and it'll be hopefully just a community of women that can come together in person every week and have this be like a little reset for the week. So yeah, that's what I'm building. It starts next Friday.
Oh, that's amazing. I really like that. One of our big goals or our big rocks is to have our community outreach where people can connect, like our younger generation with our older generation. You know, a lot of people don't have mums and aunts and uncles and a family, a whānau, it's the word we use here, to help them in their recovery. And a lot of our older people might not have a family to connect with because they get isolated. So one of our big dreams is to also have like a community group where we can connect each other and be each other's family. So I really like that you're doing that. It's a need that we in our generation don't have enough of because we've become so industrialized. We don't
Yeah.
live in little villages anymore. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing that you're taking that on yourself. That's really brave. And I just want to say thank you for doing that.
Oh,
Amazing.
thank you for saying that. It feels scary because
Yeah.
I'm actually an introvert and I sit at home and I make my candles and I watch my shows, and I'm a writer. I write fiction also. So like I'm very kind of homebody, but I just the last few months have been hard, and I feel like I'm not the only one feeling that way,
Yeah.
and I just I need it myself, you know? So I was like, I'm not seeing it the kind of thing that I want. And so I'm going to have to do it, I guess. And so it's uncomfortable to sort of be the person leading it, but I have led a few women's circles before. So I feel okay doing it. And I'm just hoping that it will become, yeah, just like a little community. I'm
It will.
craving
Yeah.
like bringing people together in person, sharing our energy, and like having clearing our energy, having a reset every week. I used to go to a women's circle years ago that totally changed my life,
Mm,
redirected me towards this spiritual path with Reiki and everything.
mm.
And I did not see it coming, but I really needed it at the time. And so I feel like if I'm feeling this pull and this call right now, it must mean that there are other women out there that also really need it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
cry.
Oh,
So,
oh, virtual.
um, yeah. No, I just think, I need it. So that must mean there are other people out there that need it. And I'm just trusting that the people that need it will find them and they'll come, and we'll have some healing together. Cause I just think it's hard where everyone feels so separated right now, and we
Yeah.
don't like as humans, I think we were meant to live in community, and we just don't have that. And online is fine, it's great, but it's not the same as being in
No.
person.
No,
So
and like, I don't know for you, but like after COVID, I wish I was. Listen, let me know what I can do to support the community group. Like any
oh,
resources,
thank you.
anything. Like just tell me what you need, and I'll see what I can do from here. And
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. I wish you could be here and you could come.
oh well,
Um,
hey, let's put that on the vision board.
yeah, there is a possibility. I was thinking at some point of like including an online element. So people could,
Yeah.
if they wanted to, if they couldn't be in person, they could come and by Zoom or something. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get to that. But
But we're
anyway,
in the era where there is technology, so there is a way to bring people
yeah,
who can't leave home. Like some people can't
yeah,
leave home and they miss out, but they still want to be with people. So there could be
yeah,
that element.
yeah.
I think,
It could
once
be a
you start, put your creativity hat on and it will come. Like don't limit yourself. Think
yeah.
of your big
It's just
picture and then come backwards.
it's
Yeah.
very scary to put yourself out there. Like it is
Yeah.
really. I mean, that's why I think I'm in awe of these women that go on these shows and just like
Mhm.
put it all out there. It's really hard. It's really scary. It's like, especially for, a Gen X like introvert like myself, it's just not
Yeah.
comfortable. But I think we're in an era of time when like we really are seeing that we just need people to just make the thing and do
Yeah.
the thing you're feeling called to do, and put
Mm.
aside fear and just do it anyway. So yeah.
But I was speaking with a group over here that are ex detectives, and they assist with site visits for the industry I work in. And they were saying that what you often see after something like COVID is it's so traumatizing for the world that you'll see like
Mm,
7 years of aftermath. And that's sort of what we're
mm,
experiencing because we used to go out all the time, clubbing, and then that sort of thing anymore. And that's because COVID. And so
mm.
the disconnect is the fallout. And then I know in America, you've got so much going on and it's scary. And I myself have taken on that. I'm in a little island down the bottom of the world and I feel it. I've had to deliberately step back from lots of social media content. I've had to clean up my algorithms several times because I can't
Yeah,
process the pain, but
yeah,
we're all really, because of internet, we are connected and like we've never been before with information dumps we've never had before. But we're also so disconnected.
yeah,
We've lost nuance and we've lost empathy, and it's the politics of the last few years have been dividing us when we should be uniting on the nuance in the middle, the person in the middle. And we just see it on every with all the war. It's that or that. And there's what about the person in the middle, you know, like even that becomes a political, I have lots of opinions on that. And yeah, but that'll be for another guest.
Yeah.
I just
No,
understand.
I had to do a news detox for myself because it isn't good for my mental health to be reading the news all the time. And so I'm aware of it, but I try not to think about it a lot because I have to focus on what I can control, which is my small little piece of the world and my mental health as much as I can. And so, I think hopefully we're entering an era of time when we can come together outside of what's happening in this like collective madness and form these pockets of community and support, because I think that's the only way we're going to sort of retain our humanness through all this.
If you think about Erica Jane analogy again, you know, what I feel happened after COVID and then October 7 is like as a globe, we all just fell apart because it was devastating. COVID was it isolated us, and we had all these politics about whether or not you should vaccinate or wear a mask, or some places were locked down for months, like Melbourne in Australia, Victoria. It was months. It wasn't a couple of weeks. You know, I don't know, probably similar in New York, but you know that trauma of not being connected to your whānau, your family, and giving birth and on your own with no family, like the trauma that ripple effect. So by the time we got through to and that's when TikTok started, you know, that's what made it so popular is it's that information dump because we were disconnected and, you know, still trying to find connection. And then we get to the war, which was still, it is a global war. It started then, it's still going. I, in that period, was so personally impacted that I was on the Instagram putting in my opinion and I'm losing friends. And it wasn't that I was like one versus the other. It's just, I was just processing my personal grief. And yeah, I had to take a step back and be like, I cannot look at these photos. And now we're in the era of the Epstein files. Can people please stop posting the videos of the little children and the sounds? Like, just stop. We are overloading each other with trauma, and we're never going to heal. We have to actually. We've gone through that. We're doing the Erica Jane. We've fallen out, and now we're at the other side. We're like, stop it.
Following Erica Jane paradigm, where are we?
Yeah. We're like, no, it's time to go to therapy. It's time to come back. It's time to be friends. Put aside our political agendas. Everyone is important. At the center of everything is you. Love, kindness, instead of hate, violence, black. Let's flip that. Let's acknowledge that war and violence and trauma impacts everybody. It doesn't differentiate. And one person is not more valuable of assistance and resource than the other. So fuck that right off. Let's come back together, do our community groups and reconnect. And it just starts with that, like what you're doing, Kerrin, of like getting a couple of people together as do whatever you want to do. Craft, cup of teas, wines, book clubs. Where are the book clubs? They existed for a reason. Come back together, unite in that central place that's important, and then you move forward. That's it. We just have to start moving forward. Like, we just can't sit in this space of grief and pain. We have to be respectful of each other. Have our Erica Jane come back as a globe and get rid of Trump. Somebody's the problem. Sorry. Oh my goodness. This is why Bravo is important, okay? It helps with our political identity.
Shouldn't he be dying any day now? Like every day.
Can you hurry up?
What is it? Clots and prayers. That's what they keep saying. Clots and prayers.
Oh my gosh. I never thought he would get a second. Oh my goodness. Let's. Oh my God.
No, what
for hours.
Weird parallel reality are we living in? Honestly, like I want a new timeline. I really want a new timeline.
I'm like, what is going to happen next? Because the pendulum, right? So we've had a pendulum after Obama. and then we got to go back
Yeah.
to there, and then there's going to be a pendulum, and it's going to go like this for like another 3 freaking decades. There's just that pendulum's just it's going to take a long time to come back to political. There's not going to be for very long after any global war or event. It's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
So this is
Unfortunately,
my reaction.
I think you're right. I really hope though that we are entering an era of like it's swinging the other way, because I feel like this has to be the last gasp death rattle of this
Please.
old racist monster. I don't know how we go forward with these kinds of mentalities. I just think it's so divisive. It's so alienating. Yeah, but like you said, that's why we as people, especially as women, I think, because I think we hold a higher vibration that is much more community based and nurturing. I think that we need to really work on bringing other people together, other women, other people together to hold that higher vibration and bring more love into the world, because that's the only thing that's going to counterbalance that kind of,
Yeah.
hatred
And
that we see.
that's the point of matriarchy, right? Is it's putting the family in the it's not about men. That's patriarchy. We're putting the
We've done
community back in the
patriarchy.
middle.
It's not going
We're
great.
over it. Doesn't work, guys. Like, it's dumb. It only like you can be. I think that what I'm trying to achieve here is capitalism, but with a matriarchy mindset. So we're going to make money, but it goes back to the community because we actually care. We need to make money. We're not going to rely on government funding and taxes and donations. We will never succeed. We're going to make money through our little retail store and other things we've got going on in the background, but that goes back to the community, as well as making sure staff are paid properly. So then women are paid properly and men, and the statistics start to change. But that's my big vision. And so it's starting with the retail and the podcast, but it is leading into we are looking for investors. We've got apps, resources that are being built around prevention, assist, and recovery of violence or any moment of pain, because pain doesn't differentiate either. So we are really thinking about everything we've talked about today, but putting it into practice that people can access those things. So let me come along to your maybe the foundation sends me over. Who knows?
Let's manifest that. We'll meet in New York. We'll go to Watch Happens Live. You'll come out, do a circle.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Whoa, okay. Let's make that happen.
I wanted to say one more thing about that. You reminded me that part of what I'm doing with this circle is that I don't want people to have to spend a lot of money to come and get healing and community. So it's a suggested donation of $20, but a portion of that will go towards a local mental health organization. And then another portion of it will go into a pot so that once a month I'll do a drawing, and one attendee from the circle that month will get a little self-care scholarship. So to put toward like a yoga class or a Reiki session or a new journal or something. Like, if I don't know that it'll be a lot of money, but a little something to go back into supporting women in taking care of themselves and investing in their self-care. So and then the other portion of it will go like towards the studio that's hosting it for me and stuff. So like I think that kind of thing makes me feel really good about collecting money, knowing that a portion of it will go back into the women and into the community, and causes that I believe in. So anyway, that's an
what you're describing is what I'm trying to achieve on a bigger scale. So because I just don't want to limit myself, but that's exactly it. So I ask for donations or the retail store, and at the moment everything goes back to my bucket of funds because I'm starting, but that's exactly it. So what you're describing is a very solid foundation model. And if you look at Savvy the Foundation or Savvy the label in Australia, that's what she does. So she is a business that gives away money, and people apply for a grant every quarter, and it goes towards whatever it is that they need. So she has really eloquently explain that much better than me. But go and have a look. So she's got journal, like an app that will help. But it's the same thing. It's just how you want to do it. And that's how we progress, by doing things like what you're doing, and don't think you can't do it. You definitely can. And it just takes one person.
We have to do it. We have to do something, for God's sake.
Yeah. But it only takes one person to make the choice to do it. And then all you do is you impact one more person, and then it's that pay it forward model. So you will get, and word of mouth, and the more people that engage, they will copy it somewhere else, and they'll experience that joy that you're bringing to them. So thank you for doing that. Thank you very much. You're part of the Maia Ataahua crew.
Yay!
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I know we had so much to cover here. I've really appreciated it, because that is the whole reason for why I bought your products in, and why I asked you to come on, because I know that you got what I got, you get the vision. So thank you so much.
Bravo fans are simpatico. Like, any Bravo fan I meet, I know is an immediate best friend. Like, we just stand, we speak the same language. Like, it's a thing. So I was so happy when you reached out, and I loved watching your unboxing videos. They were so cute and made me so honestly brought me so much joy. I never get to see people open up my packages. So it was delightful for me. So thank you for that. And thank you for having me on.
No, I think I took it enough medication that day, so I could bring the personality in, because other ones I'm like, I can't be bothered. Let me voice record or just mute it. But
really good.
I have reached out to not skinny but not fat, and asked if she could, Amanda, and I'm like, please, because she started out doing things like this, and you might have seen her at BravoCon, but it's a real community of people, and I'd like to see that highlighted and celebrated. So for our listeners, where can they find you, especially if they're not in New Zealand and they can purchase directly?
Oh yeah. So currently, my wholesale products are on Fair, under the Eternal Flame candles, and then they can, if they want to purchase individually, from my website. My website is theeternalflamecandles.com, and that's a Shopify site, and they can purchase directly from me there. Everything gets shipped right out of my living room as I'm watching Bravo. So I ship all over the world. I have stores all over the country, all over the world, I guess. Now I have a few in Europe and different places, but yeah, I'm happy to be found on, let's see what else, Instagram at the Eternal Flame Candles, I believe. I think that's it. Yeah.
Well,
come buy some candles. I have a whole bunch, and I I take requests. If I can get around to it, I will try to do the requests, but yeah.
Oh, okay, listeners, what kind of candle would we want for Maia Ataahua? We could make one. You've just given me an idea, because someone asked me, what merch do you have? I was like, none. You've just given me an idea. Okay, all right. Well, shall we finish?
Right.
Yes. Well, should we finish our lovely interview with an intention for the rest of the day, and I'll blow out Miss Piggy. Go.
Oh, I just hope to bring pure joy of Miss Piggy and Fufu, her little dog, there as I go and deal with my cute little white dog, who's very similar looking. I just hope to bring joy to the rest of the day. Have a lovely evening. It's about to be, it's 3:30 in the afternoon on Saturday here in California. But it's a beautiful day outside. Maybe I'll go take a walk. And yeah, I just hope to have some joy this evening. What about you?
For the rest of the day, I've got to go and pick up my oldest from a sleepover, so I'll bring her home. So hopefully, it is 10:30 in the morning in New Zealand on a Sunday. So this is our church session for the day.
You're in the future. Yeah. How was Sunday?
It stopped raining. It's been raining. It's winter. Well, yeah, I think it's winter. It's June.
That's right. It's your winter. God, that's so crazy.
Yeah. And it's just the all week has been so wet. It's just depressing. But I am one of those people that needs to be in the beach.
Yeah.
we'll let the grass dry out today. I'm going to open up the windows, air the house out, got an inspection. So I'm going to pick up my daughter, clean the house, and set the intention. I'm going to sell 3 candles this month, when this comes out. I'm going to set that intention, okay?
At least 3 candles.
Yeah. All of them. Okay, so
All of them.
thank you, Miss Piggy.
Piggy.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Zoe. Thank you so much for having me. This was really fun.
Thank you for listening, guys. I hope you had a good time. I know some of these episodes might be distressing as we covered some gnarly things, so please reach out. We're all in this together, and we all deserve the right to sparkle, we all deserve dignity, and we all deserve joy. If you're unsure who to speak to, come find us over on Instagram and we'll help connect you with the local service. Okay, love you, bye!